Hope everyone's having a good night. Hope everyone has had a good week so far. Time for some Friday night fun. Doing my best to check in with you guys. I know sometimes I forget and we don't get to it as quickly, but I will be here. We're here right now. So let's go ahead and chill for a little bit. Take some shots, take some dabs. I will say that, well, actually, you know what? Before we get into throwing my opinion around and shit, let's go ahead and get my tenets out there. First of all, I'm not here to be politically correct. I'm not here to be everybody's friend. I'm not going to say things that everyone agrees with, and I ain't no fucking cartoon character. I'm not the biggest... Been dabbing for a while, so I'm not really the biggest like herb smoker anymore, but that's not to say that I don't appreciate it. And there are definitely certain things that I've been picking up that have been kind of a little more herb centered that I really like. And I mean, some of that comes with my job. Like now I'm repping a hash house, so I have hash a little bit more regularly on the menu. Like right now I have about 3 grams. Actually, we'll just turn this around so you guys can see it a little bit better. Got 3 grams of this coastal cream. So this is traditional Lebanese dry sift hash that they also mix with some live resin. And that live resin gives it a little bit of pop, some extra flavor. And what's interesting about that is, as you can see, there's like a greasy stickiness to it. Like it's fucking, it's on that piece of glass pretty secure. And that hash, I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to put it on the hash pin or use it on the hash dome, I should say, because those are 2 different things. Because I'm pretty sure if I put it in the hash dome, like it's going to run right off the pin, which there's nothing wrong with that, but because of its consistency, I may need to try and figure out a different way to enjoy it. I really like this instrumental, so we're going to play it one more time. We got my little brother in the house, Dead Zaku. What's going on, sir? But yeah, it's going to be pretty dope because as I go out to different places and I do these demos, one of the things that we're going to be bringing to people is the hash pin. So when I go out and I do a demo somewhere, the way that it's going to work is we're going to tell people, hey, if you buy a gram of hash today, go and talk to Mike and get yourself one of these hash pins. So what you do with this guy is you just pop a nice chunk of hash right on that brass pin and you light it up. Inhale the goodness right there off the pin. And I'm going to be bringing these out to dispensaries. So when we do the demos, if you see me out there and you buy some hash, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get stuff other than that, but this is going to be something special in particular that I can give to people that buy hash, and that's really cool. But anyway, aside from, because I mean hash is like a concentrate, it is the earliest concentrate of cannabis that we know about. The other stuff that I've been picking up lately have been the baby Jeters. Last time that I got some, we got some blue Skittles, and those were really good. Smelled like candy when you would open up the jar for sure. And this time I got some Maui Wowie, and there's like a citrusy, it's somewhere between an orange and a grapefruit. Like I can smell the kind of like sour bitterness that you get from a grapefruit, but there's also a real nice dankiness to the bud smell that you get from that jar. And I've already smoked one with my lady, and what I will say is that I enjoy the subtle flavors that you actually get from the bud, because the first good couple of puffs that you get off of that, and I mean, it's all throughout the joint, but the first good couple of puffs, the flavor's really there. The bud is still pretty green. You get there's a heavy sweetness to it, and it actually tastes really good. It's not like synthetic either. There's a lot of, especially like when you take dabs and shit nowadays, there's a lot of synthetic flavors that you kind of run into, but that Maui Wow is actually really good. And then we also have the Cigarillo. And you know what? I'm going to get my other one. It's a little bit clean. Excuse me. So this is a really, really clean Cigarillo. And the reason I say clean is sometimes there's some bud and stuff that's stuck to the outside. This one is not like that at all. Actually, I haven't opened this one up, so give me a second, guys. That wax seal, that's some real shit on there. And you'll know if you got a Sitka product because it'll have this really nice S stamped into it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it, actually. So aside from the grams of hash, they will also stamp a Sitka S into the Rillo jars so that when you get yourself a Cigarillo, not only do you have the wax seal on there, but then you have the S stamped into the wax. And now that we got that opened up, let me grab this out of the tube so that we can show you guys what a Cigarillo looks like. Dang, it got stuck. See, the hash heated up a little bit and it got stuck to the jar. Let me see if I can get this wiggled out here. We're going to move it. Hopefully the weight from the joint itself will bring it down. And if not, I got a pair of pliers that we can use. And actually, let's go ahead and do that. I have a needle nose pair of pliers that we can actually fit in there. Ever so gently. We don't really want to waste that hash, so we want to get it on that joint if we can. Oh yeah, and we were able to save it, so let's go ahead and push it in. Mark Ribeyer. Okay. Here we go, y'all. So let's take a look at this Cigarillo. So the Cigarillo is a half-gram joint. And they take that half-gram joint and they paint it with live resin for the glue. And then from tip to filter, guys, the reason why it's so dark, let's see if we can get this bitch to actually focus. The reason why it's dark is because that is a half-gram sheet of hash. I hate this camera so much sometimes. Let's see if we can get this bitch to do its job. You know what? I'm going to be stubborn today. We're going to get this to fucking focus. There we go. See, as soon as I said it, then the camera was like, now I have no choice. Do your fucking job, bitch. But how beautiful is that? And the melt on it, oh my God. The melt on it is like a stick of incense. Super smooth, steady burn. I love it. So now I actually just got to make sure. I don't even really want to put this back in because it's going to fucking hit those walls and get stuck to it again. So let's repair this up a little bit. That's the awesome thing about hash, is you can easily repair this stuff because it heats up just with the heat of your fingers is enough to get it melty and pliable. And then we can do whatever we need to do with it from there. But we don't want to fuck with it too much. It'll start coming undone. But yeah, that right there. Ooh, that's a good night. And so a cigarillo is kind of like an experience, you know. You're gonna want to light one of these up with a shot of whiskey or a glass of wine and a steak dinner or like a gourmet burger or something. This isn't just something where it's like, I'm gonna go for a walk and I'm gonna burn a cigarillo. This is something that you do as like part of an experience, and that's one of the things that I've been trying to explain to people and kind of get them into, is that it's not just something that you smoke. It's like an experience, you know? Crap, and see, that's what I get for fucking with this too. Some of the wax actually fell off and landed in there. It was rolling around on that cigarillo. We don't want that. So let's make sure that there isn't going to be any more wax that gets stuck in there. And then we'll take the first dab and shot of the night. Four homies chilling. What's going on, four homies? Hope you guys are all having a great evening. Hope that you have had a great week so far. Okay, now we can put all this stuff away. We are done talking about stuff. Oh, what I will say is, to anybody that is actually out here in the Central Valley, especially people that are in my immediate area, I'm going to be going out to the dispensaries and all kind of like the surrounding half hour, 20-minute area and setting up demos. So if you're in the Visalia, Tulare, Lemoore, Kingsburg fucking area, then it's very possible you're going to see me at a dispensary very soon. If you don't have any hash in your local dispensary, you're in California and you want to see some, you can either hit me up on, actually, we'll just put it up here. So right there in the chat is the email that you guys can use. It's just mike@sitkagold.com. If you are in California and you want to have some hash, if you want to see me out there in your area, if you want your local dispensary to start carrying Sitka, hit me up. Let me know. We can schedule a demo out in your local dispensary. We can talk to them about getting an order of hash out there. And yeah, we can do a meet and greet and all that good stuff. That's what I've been doing lately. The last couple of weeks, we've been out to like 4 or 5 different dispensaries, and the goal is to set it up to where we have somewhere to go all throughout the week, every week. So yeah, as we're building that list, if you're in California and you want to see Sitka in your area, hit me up. You can find me here on YouTube. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can also use the email that I just dropped in the comment section, mike@sitkagold.com. Life is good. God is good. Dabs are good. Whiskey's good. Let's go ahead and drink a little bit. Then we're going to pack a nice fat dab. I think we're going to pack a dab of this Razzle Dazzle. It's a nice little It's kind of buttery, but just a little saucy. Like it's kind of clumpy still. We're gonna pack us a nice little beginning dab for the night. 5 homies in the chat, what's going on? Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Much love to everybody. Be safe. It is Friday, so make sure that if you're watching this stream and you're not at home right now, or if you're about to go out for the night, be safe and make sure that you can make it back home. If you can't drive, just know that there are at least 3 services that you can use outside of whatever local service you might have in the area. But you have taxis, you have Ubers, you have Lyfts, you have designated sober drivers. So there's a lot of ways that you can get home aside from you doing it yourself. D Cypher says, "Is that BHO?" Yes, it is. And that's what I like, is kind of it's buttery, but it's almost still kind of saucy because it does clump together a little bit. But to me, like a true butter, there's no, I don't know, it's hard to like really define. Well, okay. Actually, no, it's not, because I have examples right here. So there's like a butter consistency, and then more of like it's getting more saucy. And that would be these 2 right here. Shit, getting stuck. Sorry. So here we have a good example of like a butter, and you could actually call this like a butter chip, because it's very stable. You know, I can actually pick this up and have it in my hands, and it's not that big of a deal. So that would be, to me, a really good example of butter. Like really stable butter. Then you also have, it's kind of saucy a little bit, but it's kind of buttery too. I don't know, maybe you would just call that sauce, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe you would call it sauce. But I feel like you could get away with calling it butter too. It's all right. Let's go ahead and pour this shot, and then we will take a dab of this razzle dazzle. Yeah, and it's pretty stable, so it should stay there. I'm going to heat up the nail, so that way we can take the shot while we're waiting for the nail to cool down. I have to say, like, the most, I don't want to complain about the job, because it's not even the job. It's just people. You know, having a job like this is a numbers game, because I'm going out to all these dispensaries where a bunch of different people work. My entire job is to talk to patients as they come in. So I'm gonna interact with a lot of people. Not everybody's gonna be in a great mood. Not everyone is gonna like me. I get that. It's just weird, like, seeing kind of patterns in the businesses and the people when I go out, and just observing stuff. I guess I'm a people watcher. And yeah, I don't really, like, it's not my first choice to go and be out in public, but I can be social when I have to. And it's just been weird lately to be in all of these social situations, and to see the things that I see. And one thing that I'll say, and I hope if somebody works at a dispensary that I've been to, that you don't get butthurt about this, you don't take it personal. It probably doesn't apply to you, but it might. There's no level, I don't think, to the cannabis industry where you get to this part and people start acting more professional or differently. Like, for the most part, in this community, everybody pretty much behaves like a stoner, and that applies to all facets of how a stoner can behave, from them forgetting shit that is kind of important to just having like straight up blonde airhead bimbo moments and being like, that really fucking happened? Like, you just did that? So it's not anyone in particular, but it is something that I see in this field, and maybe it's just in all business, but I'm noticing it because I deal with a lot of stoners. But it's like, you don't get more professional just because you're a bud tender working in a dispensary. There are people that work in dispensaries that you might as well just talk to like some stoner homie, because working in a dispensary doesn't mean you're more knowledgeable about the product that you work around. That just means that you work in the building. So what I will tell all of you good people that happen to watch me now and may watch me later is that there's nothing wrong with giving your dispensary and your local bud tenders the benefit of the doubt. There's nothing wrong with going into your local dispensary and hoping that the people that work around these products that cost us so much money, that we use technically sometimes as medicine, you would hope and you figure that these establishments are going to hire people that are either knowledgeable enough already or willing to become knowledgeable enough about the product that they're selling. But at the end of the day, that's not the case. And you're going to find that sometimes you're going to ask a question and you're going to get met with this look where it's like, you know what, that's a great question. I wish I knew where to find out. Sometimes you're going to get a line of bullshit because they don't want to tell you that they don't know. So it's much easier to lie to you because you probably don't know, and they work there, so they're supposed to be the authority. So as much as I would love to tell you guys to just believe everything that your bud tender tells you, try and give them the benefit of the doubt when you can, but also just understand that this is an employee just working a job. And they're like any other, more than likely part-time employee of any business. They're not going to give that much of a shit. And again, I'm not trying to bash any place that I've been to, because they've all been awesome. The teams have been great, the places have been great. I'm just saying in general, because I go to dispensaries as a patient myself, and this is shit that I deal with. Like, I'm not the most knowledgeable person about every single thing in the cannabis community, but the stuff that I like, I know about. And there's times where I go in and I have to kind of educate a bud tender about the shit that they have on their own shelves. And I'm not going to lie, that's kind of an awkward situation for me and probably the employee. But the thing is that's an avoidable situation because I'm not the motherfucker that works there. I shouldn't be the one that's more knowledgeable about what they have on their shelf. Just so happens that I am a weed nerd and I do look into stuff. So, I don't know. To me, it's just like, if you're going to have a job, take it seriously. If you're going to work as a bud tender in a dispensary, there's a lot of people that would really like to have that job. So if you're going to work there, take it seriously and fucking know about the stuff that you're selling. That's all. Or at least that's how I feel. And I'm sure that there are bud tenders that do exactly that. Unfortunately, I have not had the privilege of talking to many of those. I have talked to a few, but I can't say that I've talked to many. having said that, I'm, like anybody else, I'm just human. I'm not always going to be able to be super duper professional, and that actually happened just like yesterday, I think. Somebody that I would consider my boss, one of them called me, and as soon as I answered them, they were like, "Yo, are you okay?" So as much as I would like to be 100% professional all of the time, I can't do it. So I don't expect everyone else to do something that I can't do. Having said that, it's kind of rare when I'm not professional. So you should be able to do it like 95% of the time. I don't see why not. Okay, let me find... You know what's crazy is I don't really understand why it is, but when I decide to do a live stream, and I think I've talked about it before, Deacon, he understands that like when I'm talking more or when I'm sitting here, more animated, that I'm doing something like with people. So he goes really hard on his toys. And I gotta say, if you guys have never had a dog that just chews or squishes something, it can be a very distracting sound. And getting through an entire fucking thought with you guys sometimes is difficult. Zaku says, fell behind the stream, but I constantly hear about shady customer service in this scene. And that's the problem, is that it's not like medical cannabis is a super duper respected field of business right now. So, like being a super serious bud tender, some people would laugh at that. But when you really break it down, there are people that have very serious medical conditions that they may not even use THC. They may just rely on CBD to help alleviate the symptoms of what they suffer from, and not understanding how to dose them correctly or even what correct product to recommend them could mean the difference between like remission and what they have and like triggering a seizure or some crazy shit. So I think that it is something that people should focus on, and there is like an importance to actually understanding this stuff. But the other thing about that is there's a level to this industry where it's just, oh, I fucking work in a weed shop. So I'm sure that it's difficult for shops to balance that out and make sure that they have the right... Deacon, all right, come on. Let's go. Yeah, I just can't fucking think. It's probably hard for shops to kind of balance that out and make sure that they not only have people that are excited about the product, but that they have people that know how to explain the product as well. And it's like, you can't go to school for that. And it's weird because most of, like, if you're really knowledgeable about cannabis, then it's probably because you've grown or because you have a lot of experience in the underground scene and you've been around it since it was mostly illegal. But it's like, can you put that on a resume? Not really. So it's like, it's a weird industry. And because of that, there's a lot of odd people in the job. And hopefully it gets ironed out and we figure out how to do it a little more properly. I don't even really know how we would go about it, but I just feel like the cannabis industry is an industry that could use a lot more caregivers and a lot less cartoons. Because there's a lot of people that get into, and I'm sure it's really any industry or any community, but especially like in the cannabis community, there's a lot of people that are only here to be characters so that you can follow them and buy their merch and buy what they promote so that they can get a cut of that if you use their discount code or what the fuck ever. And there's a very small group of people that is genuinely around just to help and just to provide information or just to give advice or just to lead people, down the right, because it's a big learning curve. And let's say that you find out that you do need THC in your system and you don't know, because there's so many different ways you can ingest it. You can smoke it, you can put it in an edible, you can use it, put it in dabs and actually vaporize it and inhale it that way. You can put it in a tincture and put it under your tongue, and that's just the ways that I can think of. There's also, and it's in my backpack, but I was talking about this on the last stream. I was given tabs. So let's say that you don't even like the taste of weed, and you just want to take the THC or the CBD medicinally and effectively, but you don't want any of the cannabis type stuff that goes along with it. There's fucking pills, just tabs that you pop in your mouth, and that's 25 milligrams right there. So there's all of these different ways that you can take it if you need it. And I feel like it would be a good idea to have people in shops that know how to accurately describe all that stuff. Because it's not like these things are cheap either. A cigarillo, one of these in a dispensary will go anywhere from $42 to $47. Almost $50 for this one fucking pre-roll. And that's, if I can be 100% honest with you guys, that is probably my biggest problem with the entirety of the cannabis community. You have so many people that will try to tell you that they actually give a shit and that they're a patient and that they're here to help. You know what? A lot of times that's bullshit. And what it's really about is making money. I want you to like me so that you can buy my product, or you can buy the product that I endorse, and I can make some money off of it. That's what that shit means most of the time to me. And I don't know, it's a weird dichotomy, because a lot of people look at the cannabis community and they think that, they're all stoners and it's, they're all cool with each other, and that it's not like that. And honestly, it's pretty shady sometimes. So Zaku. So I don't really talk prices, as far as we don't want to get into wholesale stuff. They are cheaper, definitely, but I don't, and that's the thing, is I can't remember off the top of my head if that's the exact price, but that's not something that we want to throw out in the public, because that's nobody's business except for the people that buy it and sell it. But what the point is that they have a huge markup after people buy them. And that's not cool, because let's say that I'm able to buy a product for $20. A decent markup on that is, maybe 15, maybe even selling it for double. So if I buy it for 20 and I sell it for 40, that allows me to buy another one and I get $20 in my pocket. That's not too bad. But if I were to buy something for $20 and then sell it for 80, that I think is kind of a little out of control. And I don't think that that's fair. And it's also not good business, because if I have a good product and I'm not selling it for the right price, then it's just going to sit on my shelves. And then I start getting it up my ass that's like, this product isn't any good. Well, it's not that. It's just that I'm not selling it for the right price, so it's not moving. And that's kind of the issue that I see with a lot of stuff, but specifically right now with Sitka's stuff, because there isn't a lot of hash on the market. So let's say that a dispensary can pick up a case of cigarillos, and the cigarillos are $15 a piece, and then they sell them for $50. For one, you're not going to do very well, because even if it's kind of worth it, if you're just starting to introduce it to the market, people aren't going to know what it is and they're not going to want to buy it. But on top of that, you could sell it because you get it for so much lower. Let's say that they get it for 15 bucks a piece. They could comfortably sell it for like 35 and make a great profit. But selling it for like 45 to 47 is fucking ridiculous, because it creates this cycle where, for one, no one's going to buy it because it's too expensive. And for two, the dispensary is going to look at it like a product that they don't want to deal with because they can't sell it. When in reality, if they would just price it correctly, they'd move it just fine. Because there are shops that I've been to where the price is very, very different. And I'll go to one shop, it'll be like 47 bucks to buy a fucking Rillo. I'll go to another shop and it'll be like 38. And I tell you what, the shops that got it for 38 move it a lot better. My little brother says that place in the mall that has figures, one of their employees won't even shop at his own store due to how expensive their products are. And that's real shit. When I was doing the underground sessions with my buddy 710 Haji, who is fucking awesome, and follow him on Instagram if you like looking at weed, because he's always out at sessions and man, he's got some fire. When I was going out with him to these underground sessions, I ran into so many employees of fucking dispensaries that would rather go to the underground sessions and buy their meds there because it's so much cheaper. Not only do you not have to deal with tax, but you don't have to deal with the markup from these fucking shops, because a lot of times the places that the shops will pick up from will just go out and sell it themselves. So instead of getting it from a middleman, you could pick it up from the guy that grew it or that actually fucking concentrated that stuff. And it's kind of out of control after going with him to these sessions to then see some of those same products in dispensaries for so much more money. And I'm not even gonna lie, the first little bit of hash that I was given, some of it I didn't even keep for my personal stash. Some of it I took out to those sessions and I sold them. One, for a little bit of money for my own personal pocket, but two, just to get the word out that we had it and that, you know, we were going to be bringing it to the valley. And what was crazy was that there were some people that already knew, and we're not even in a lot of dispensaries. I would tell people, hey, you can get it for this much out the door. And they'd be like, dude, I saw this at the dispensary for this and this much. And I'd be like, I know, that's why it's good to see me and fucking get it while you can. So, I mean, dispensaries, as awesome as they are, some of them really do not know how to fucking price their product. And it shows, because just from like here in the immediacy of where I live, the fucking 20-minute radius of where I live, you'll find, like, let's say I went to one store and I saw these baby Jeters for like 35 bucks. I could go to another store that's only 10 minutes away, and instead of being 35 bucks, they'll be 45 bucks. And then I could go to another store that's 10 minutes away from that, and instead of 45 bucks, they'll be 55 bucks. So it's kind of out of control how after these places buy it from the places that make it, it's basically up to their discretion, and they can sell these products for whatever the fuck. And that's kind of out of control. Like, I get the discretion to a point, but I also feel like there's a manufacturer suggested retail price for a reason, and you should probably try and shoot for somewhere around that if you want to be able to move the product successfully. And there's a lot of places that do not do that. And I'm not trying to harp on this subject, but I feel that it is worth talking about, because as much as I enjoy being a part of the industry, and now that I have this new job and I'm going out to dispensaries, I don't want to badmouth dispensaries as a whole, but it's really difficult to see these things and to not speak about it, because this is just what's happening. It's not my idea or like this conspiracy theory where I think that people are trying to fuck us out of money. No, it's happening. And I can see, because that's the thing is I have the sheet in the next bedroom. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, or else I would have verified what Zaku was saying about the prices of the Rillos. I know that they're definitely not as much as they're being sold for in the dispensaries, but it's just crazy how much of a markup there is. And I don't know. It's just bad business. Like I was saying, it's bad business. And if what I was saying these last couple of minutes hasn't made sense to you, then you should probably reconsider how you do business with people, because you might be someone that does bad business. But yeah, that's a great example. My little brother, he goes to a toy shop in the mall, and the employees in that shop won't even buy shit from the shop that they work in. When I was going to the underground sessions, there were a bunch of times that I ended up selling stuff to people that worked at a dispensary and had that stuff that they were buying available to them at their job, but chose not to buy it and endorse the place they work at, and instead go to an underground session and get that shit cheaper because they knew they could get it cheaper. Damn. Been talking so long, we almost lost his dad. We saved it though. There we go. Position it on the dabber a little bit better so it is not going to fall off this time. I'm going to shut up because we definitely kind of took a left turn on that. But again, it's something that I see, and it kind of makes me sad. And it's not like it's something I'm going to be able to change. I have no control over these places and what they charge. I feel like I've asked once before, but can we see your super awesome recycler by Semi-Glass? Local Tom, I'll take it out in a second, but I'm not taking any dabs out of it tonight. And it actually has water in it, but I'm just not going to do that because I don't feel like it. I need to clean it out. And if I take another dab, it's just going to get dirtier, and that thing is fucking hard to clean. What I'm going to start doing is, if people want to see me take dabs out of a certain piece, you motherfuckers can donate some money. And if you want to send some money to my PayPal, then yeah, I'll break out whatever fucking piece you want. We'll take a dab out of it. But yes, Local Tom, I will break it out. Just give me a second because we still need to take the first shot and the first dab of the night. We're almost, I was only going to stay on for about an hour, and we're almost there already. We're coming up on 45 minutes. So we have been talking about fucking dispensary stuff for a good little bit. I know I definitely took a left turn, and we were focused in on that for a while, but I mean, it's what I've been doing lately. It's what's on my mind. It's what I've been seeing. So now that I got it off my chest, we're good. And I haven't even started drinking yet, so it's probably good that I got that out before. Alrighty, y'all. Let's see. Dead Zaku says, I bought 2 alien figures and they were 10 each. Imagine if they had more on the shelves. And so I also feel like there's a level, because if you're a collector, there's a ceiling, right? If you're a collector and you're on a budget, then there's an amount of money that you're willing to spend. And you're like, I understand that this is kind of expensive, but I'm a collector. I like this shit. I'm willing to do that. But then there's also a level where you see something and you're like, that's rare. It's worth money, but I'm not going to pay that fucking much for it. So I understand. And I know I've said this in other streams. When you're a collector, no matter what it is, you can fucking collect bottle caps, coins, cards, glass, fucking, it doesn't matter. When you get to a certain tier of being a collector, everything's expensive. So you just gotta choose your battles. My lady's in the chat. She says, yeah, he does. It's like I'm always seeing something new there. For real. She was here yesterday, and she actually just left a couple hours ago. Every time she looks at the collection, I get this question a lot. Like, was this here the last time I looked at this shit? Did you have this in this spot? And most of the time the answer is yes. You just didn't notice it. Because that's how much shit I have accumulated. And yeah, the collection is pretty big. And it's because we're just starting this new job, I don't see myself getting any new glass for a while, because we got to kind of conserve, and the ship is we're running a kind of tight ship right now, but hopefully within the next couple of months we'll get to a spot where we are more comfortable, and I'll be able to invest in glass again like I was. But yeah, I'm probably going to take a little break for a minute, because we added a lot this year. She says, yeah, I think he fucks with me and moves shit around. I really don't. And so this would make sense to you as far as knowing my personality. I like structure and knowing where stuff is at, and I'm a creature of habit. So if I put something down in one place, it's probably going to be in that place for a while. And yeah, so if you're looking at something, chances are it's been there for a while and you're just noticing it. And it happens. Like, I have a lot of shit, so this is actually a room where that could happen. And right? The stuff I say is logical. Yeah, okay, you're right. You are a creature of habit. I know. Okay, time to drink this whiskey and take this dab. Before we take the dab, Local Tom, I will break out marbles. But yeah, I mean, it's humbling that people want to see the collection at all. And it's dope that people request to see pieces. I just, I don't know. I feel bad because, like, Local Tom wants to see marbles, but I'm not going to take a dab out of marbles. And I feel like if you're going to see the piece, one of the best ways to appreciate it is by watching it function, or by watching me use it and blow a nice cloud out of it. So I don't know. The reason why I don't break other pieces out too often is because I just kind of got stuck on this guy as my daily driver because of how easy it is to maintain. That's not what I was going to say. That's just a burp. And as dope as the bigger pieces are, because they're big and they're clunky and they take so much water, to me, it just, on some level, it becomes a hassle. And it's just like, fuck, I don't want to break this piece out. But my lady says sometimes it's nice to look at the prettiness. And so that's one thing that I have to remember. Topher Min says, how much to see the aquarium in action? Topher Min, I tell you what, fam. $10. You send $10 to the PayPal, I will fill up the aquarium right now, and we will take not just a regular dab, we will take a fat fucking dab off of it. But yeah, sometimes I just don't want to deal with cleaning shit. And with the bigger pieces, specifically with the Red Menace and with marbles, cleaning them is kind of hard. And with the Red Menace in particular, aside from being difficult to clean, it low-key kind of makes me nervous. So I try to clean it as little as possible, and I try and it sounds stupid, but I try and use it less so that I don't have to clean it as much, because cleaning it does kind of make me a little nervous. Dead Zaku says, how much for the the toxic apple, so broski, we'll just say across the board. If you want to see me take a dab out of something, $10. $10 and whatever fucking piece you want to see, I'll put water in it. We'll take a fat dab out of it. But for me, having to do that and now having another piece to clean, yes, getting paid for that, a small donation would be amazing. But yeah, so Topher Min, you just let me know. Dead Zaku says it's the black and slime skull. So I'm guessing that's going to be the new toxic apple. So yeah, we're just $10 across the board. If anybody wants to see me take a fat dab out of whatever piece they like, $10. I'll break it out. And Local Tom, since this still has water in it, you're pretty lucky, brother, because we can take a little what is it, dry hit. Look at the big old fucking tornado tube on that baby. And that's a chug right there, man. That's a gnarly noise. Michael J, what's going on? Local Tom, you are very, very welcome, fam. You know, and that's the thing, is that I need to not be such a fucking dick about it and appreciate the fact that people want to see the collection. I get so used to it because I look at this every day. You know, this is where I spend pretty much all of my time. And my lady Marina Lemon, she'll tell you, like, I sleep on the floor. I have a bed in the other bedroom right here, and I would usually rather sleep on the floor next to my dog than sleep on a fucking mattress, because I'm just a fucking weirdo like that. Like, I don't even know why. That's just what I prefer to do, is I spend a lot of time in this room. Local Tom says, I'll hit Cash App next live. No worries, fam. And that's the thing. I don't want people to feel pressured like, you need to pay me if you want to see me take a dab. That's not what I meant. It's just, if people want to see me take a dab out of a particular piece that I don't really want to break out or clean, then you know what? Making a small donation helps me out a lot. I'm going to take a super fat dab for you so you get to see the piece. And you know what? Just to like add on to that, anybody that actually makes a donation and wants to see me use a piece, I will use that piece for the rest of the night. So it's not just like you're going to see me take one dab. The rest of the dabs that we take for the night will be out of that piece. And I will make sure, just to make sure that that person doesn't feel like their money is wasted, I will make sure that we take at least 2 to 3 dabs out of whatever piece that they requested. So $10, not bad. Let's see. My little brother says I need to check my notifications. So check my PayPal. Alrighty, sir. I'm going to check my PayPal right now. So I think that I might need to break out the toxic apple. Pretty sure my little brother just sent me some loot to take a fat dab out of this. Oh no, he sent more. So, okay, broski. Did you want to see the new toxic apple then? And I need to get that. So this guy right here. Okay, let me put water in it. So give me 1 second. I will be right back. We'll take another shot. I will add. So this dab was pretty fat to begin with. we're going to add to that. Michael J says, you think a gill cycler like the UV one you got can be used for flower, or is it mostly for dabbing, fam? So the thing about, well, the resin's going to build up anyway, Michael J. So what I would say is if you're going to use a piece like that gill cycler to smoke herb out of, then use a carbon filter or a dry ash catcher, something that's going to catch the actual debris and the chunky stuff, because a gill cycler is only going to work the best when it's clear. And once you start smoking flour out of a piece like that, those holes are pretty small and you could clog them up pretty easy. So once you start adding flour to that mix and you get that chunkier resin, you have to clean it a lot more regularly for it to function at an optimal level. So what I'll tell you is that you can use it for flour, but you're going to have to make sure that it stays clean in order to function optimally. And you're going to have to clean it more often because those holes on the gill can be kind of small. And so it's not going to take a super huge chunk of resin or even plant material, for that matter, to clog it up. That's just my opinion on that. And what I will definitely say that I feel like there are some perks that are made for dabs and made for flour. So you got to be careful, and you got to know what you're using what for. Gill perks, I would say you're better off just taking dabs out of them. Here, you can go outside. All right. Okay. Local Tom wants to know, he says, didn't you have a purple pink recycler by Semiglass? Saw that on Instagram ages ago. I still have it. Michael J says, thanks, fam. Really appreciate your answer. Absolutely. And, I'm always going to try and be honest with you. I don't want to bullshit you or anything, so I just want to make sure that, you get an honest answer. And having said that, there are some great, like if you're going to get a flower piece, get a diffusion chamber. That's one of the best things that you could get for flower. Like, seriously? Fuck a gill perk. If you're going to get a flower piece, get a diffusion chamber, fam. I mean, the bubbles and the impact of that hit from all the diffusion from this thing, dude, like it's fucking awesome. So I would say look for a diffusion chamber if you really want a good perk for a flower piece. Local Tom. He tried to get a duplicate of Lucy made. That's Lucy right here. And Lucy is done up in pink slime and purple lollipop. And there's about 4 opals on her, and she got a fat ass. And yeah, a lot of this, like, here's the thing, Local Tom. I hate people that brag. And so every now and then, you know, I'll post a dab video and we'll do our thing, but like, I'm not going to do this thing where like every day I post a different piece or, you know, whatever. So I really don't break out pieces and like show them off all that much. And it's because I'm kind of self-conscious of that mindset. I never want to be that guy that is just like throwing shit in people's face. And to that point, I understand that there are people that want to see it. There are people that hit me up on my Instagram and they're like, dude, we want to see the glass, like post the glass as often as possible. And I appreciate you guys. Seriously, you are fucking awesome because you help me appreciate my collection more. It's just, my brain works in a very particular way and I don't ever want to be that guy. So I would much rather do this to where we do a stream and you guys request, hey, break this piece out, I'll send you a couple bucks, dab on it for me. Now I know exactly what you want to see. We'll break that out. We'll get some good shots. Oh shit. Okay, so Topher sent some loot too. So it looks like we're gonna be on for a little bit, guys, because I am a man of my word. I do what the fuck I say I'm gonna do. So we're gonna take 2 dabs out of the toxic apple because my little brother sent some loot my way. He actually sent more than I even asked for. So we are going to take 2 dabs out of the toxic apple. Then we are going to clean up the Aquarian and we're gonna take 2 fat dabs out of that. So we got 4 dabs to go. We are only 1 shot in so far. I hope that you guys are ready for the ride. Thank God I actually have enough dabs to cover this shit. We're going to be dabbing, y'all. So let's go ahead and get started. Dab number 1. Love you, little brother. Thank you so much for the donation. Topher Min. The next 2 dabs are going to be for you after we take care of these 2. Much love and thank you for hitting up the PayPal. And to anybody that is joining or watching and you didn't catch it earlier, $10. If you want to send $10 to my PayPal and donate, I will break out any piece that you want to see and we will take some fat dabs out of it. That is what I am asking. So if you want to send the money, we will break out whatever you want to see and we'll fucking dab out of it. My little brother says, toxic, so toxic. It's a dope piece. And it chugs hard. We're going to get a fat dab out of this shit right now. So let's go ahead and get this ready. Much love to all of you guys. We're an hour in. I was only going to go for an hour, but I still have 3 dabs left to take. So we're going to be here for a minute. Hope you guys are ready to hang out. Zaku says, you don't have to do 2 dabs from the apple. 1 is cool. Bro, we're going to do them back to back. And why? Because I'm a man of my word. I did not think that more than 1 person was going to actually make a request for pieces tonight. But since that happened, I have to do what I said I was going to do. You can't say you're going to do something and then not do it on the first night. So I said multiple dabs. We're taking multiple dabs. My lady says it's because you like to take fat dabs. Here and there. I don't know if I'm going to take 5 back to back right now. Normally I take 1 or 2 and I chill for a little bit. All right, we got to give this a good little bit of heat because we want to make sure that that whole dab gets evaporated. And then we're going to add a little bit more of this razzle dazzle. Oh yeah, that's a nice fat dab. Cool. Topher says, I've learned a lot from your videos, man. I appreciate you. You know what, Topher? That means a lot. And I am glad that people are getting good information out of the videos and that they're learning stuff. And you know what? I'm glad that you're still here and coming around, fam. So thank you for tuning in. We are definitely going to put some water in the aquarium and take some fat dabs. In the meantime, we're going to be taking some fat dabs out of the toxic apple. I hope that you guys are ready. If you got something to dab on, smoke on, whatever it is, get it ready. I'm on about 620 degrees right now. I'm going to take this dab around 575. And then we'll show you guys the other toxic apple. We actually have that for sale, $700 shipped in a Pelican. Let's do it, y'all. Dab motherfucking time. Dude, the new apple chugs so hard. The OG apple is dope as fuck, but the new apple chugs so fucking hard. And that's what we had it made for. I wanted something that was going to be able to handle more water and therefore take a bigger hit. And fuck, man, Grime Glass, he knocked this shit out of the park. Okay. So we have the Snow White Day of the Dead sticker. Local Time says, just being here is good vibes. Appreciate that, fam. The original toxic apple. This is the first piece, the first apple that Grime did in slime. And this is a solo project. He's done collabs where he's put slime on like a skull type thing, but the only slime apples that he's done solo, I own both of them. These are the only two in the world he's done by himself. I own both of them. Fuck, that was a fat dab, dude. Whew, okay. Up next, the Aquarian. This thing, like the function on this thing is fucking crazy. Local Tom says, it'd be sick if you could live stream with viewers. So, Local Tom, as much as I love my community, here's why that's a bad idea. For one, there's a lot of times where as much as I love my viewers, their internet connection may not be that great. So it's not like it's their fault or it's their intention, but they'll get on and their connection is so choppy or whatever, you can't even understand anything that they're saying. The other thing that becomes a problem is they may not have anything to talk about. And, you know, as awesome as the community can be, not everybody is really meant to be on camera. So some people don't actually know how to be on a live stream. And it's just one of those things where it is like, it's cool to interact with the chat and with the audience for sure. But honestly, the best way to do that is through the chat, because not everybody knows how to be on camera. Not everybody is a good guest on a live stream. And I don't say that with any malice or anything. It's just and that's the other thing, is some people don't realize it until they get on camera, but they're super uncomfortable, like being on panel and stuff. And so you definitely don't want to realize that for the first time when you get on a stream. And I only say that because I've been doing this for a while now. I've been creating content for at least 4 or 5 years. And I've been hosting live streams for a while. And I've been able to meet all different kinds of people. And I can tell you definitely, not everybody is made to be on a live stream. Not everybody is made to be on camera. And unfortunately, I don't know who is and who ain't until they kind of show up. And I can't take that risk on my stream because I don't want somebody getting weird with you guys, or just, yeah, that wouldn't be cool. And we could always delete the stream, but the fact there is that it happened. And it's like, I can avoid that by just making sure. And that's the thing, I'm not opposed to chilling with people on camera. If someone wants to have a video call with me, and I do that a lot, actually. I was doing that a little bit earlier with my little brother so that he could show me some of the action figures that he picked up. I'm totally down to get on a video call with somebody if they need help or they need a question answered, or even if they just want to say like, hey, Cynic, I appreciate like what you do. I'm down for a video call because that'll help me get to know you and stuff. But as like, that's why you've never seen me do a live stream where it's like, let's have chat members on panel, because that's just not something I do. Topher says that, yeah, you definitely got to know who you're putting on your channel. And that's the thing. We're all super chill. Nobody here has been weird or anything, but being on camera is different. And not everybody realizes that until they're on camera. Some people worded that wrong because I just took this fat fucking dab. Some people don't realize that until they're on camera. And that's an uncomfortable place to be. But no, having said that, if people, and so again, I try to make myself as accessible as possible, because my goal has always been to always make it clear that I look at myself as part of the community. Even if I become a leader in the community, I'm never going to look at myself as above or better than anybody else. I am still a part of the community, and even being a leader in the community, the reason or the way that I came about being a leader is by being a productive member. So to me, community is very important, and you know, I always want to make sure that it's a good place to be. That was dab number 1. This is shot number 2. We're going to take dab number 2 out of the toxic apple. Then we're going to fill up the aquarium. We're going to take 2 fat dabs out of that. And I'm going to check out for the night. I'm going to be high as fuck because I'm already feeling this dab. It was a pretty fat dab. Like, it was a good size one to begin with. We almost lost it, and then we recovered it. I should have actually shown you guys what it looked like as it was hanging off my table here. But we recovered it, and then we added to it and took that whole dab. We're going to take another dab about that size, and then we got 2 more to take out of the aquarium, which is a considerably larger rig, which means pretty fat cloud. Oh, hope you guys are ready. This is going to be an interesting stream. Oh, that's where I was going with that point. Accessibility. So, even if I become a leader in the community, I always want people to feel like I'm not impossible to get a hold of. And I hope that people have noticed that, like, if they leave a comment on my Instagram, or if they leave a comment on my YouTube, or if they send me a DM or fucking an email, whatever, it usually doesn't take me more than, I want to say, 24 hours to respond. And I don't ever want to get cocky and be like, there's going to be a time where that's going to be difficult. Fuck that. Like, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I will always try to maintain a level of accessibility that makes everyone understand that I don't feel like I'm better than anybody else. I'm a part of the community. I'm no different than any of you guys, and because of that, I always want all of you to feel like if you have a question or if you're trying to reach out to me, that it's not impossible. So that's why I have so many ways to get a hold of me. Like, if you guys have a question, leave a comment on a video, fucking send me an email, deadcynic@gmail.com. Now there's another email you guys can use. If you have a question about hash, or if you're in California and you want help setting up a demo in your local dispensary so that we can get hash in your local area, you can hit me up at mike@sitkagold.com. I literally have a Sitka fucking email now. So you can hit me up there. You can hit me up on Instagram, leave a comment on one of my posts, or fucking send me a DM. My lady's got to go and do some work. Hope it's a smooth shift, babe. Yeah, cheers. I'm going to take a couple more dabs, and this will probably be my last shot of the night so that I can fucking stay on point, because after this second dab, I'm going to be fucking chilling. But yeah, thank you guys for coming along with me. This is definitely going to be a fun night because I haven't taken this many dabs on stream for a while, and I definitely haven't taken them in like rapid succession. And that's what I'm going to try and do. So we're going to get to this second dab as quickly as possible. I need to grab another soda after this shot. And then we will, actually, while I'm doing that, while I'm grabbing the other soda, we're going to put some water in the aquarium. So we'll already have that ready, and we can just cycle to it once we get done with this dab and take the other dab immediately afterwards. Maybe even take the 4th dab after that and just do the next like 3 dabs, kind of rapid fire style. Hope you guys are ready for that. So let's go ahead and get this shit a-rolling. Thank you very much for chilling with me. 7 homies in the chat. This would actually be a good night if you guys want to invite other people and be like, you should see what this motherfucker's doing. Probably going to be a good night for that for the rest of this stream, because we're going to get swifty. I'm definitely going to get some dabs in my system. So let's go ahead and take shot number 2. And then I'm going to put some water in the aquarium. We will be right back, and we will get to these dabs. Fuck, we're going to get to these dabs. All right. I'm excited, and then I'm just like, oh, man. We're going to be doing a lot in the next couple of minutes. It's going to be a lot of moving around, and got to make sure that I keep my fucking hand-eye coordination all together. I'm not tipping shit over, because, fuck. These are going to be some fat dabs. If you guys are actually going to send donations my way to request pieces, I'm going to do my best to make sure that we get some good shots of me taking dabs out of them. And when possible, like with the Aquarian, if we can get a good function shot, I'm going to focus very hard on trying to do that. So Topher, you were the one that requested the Aquarian. I'm going to try very hard when we take both of these dabs to get a good function shot for you. And even before then, we're going to take a couple of dry rips and stuff. So I'm going to make sure that we actually showcase whatever piece gets requested. And having said that, for my little brother one more time, let's get a slow. The crazy thing about this piece, let's see if we can actually get the camera to focus on it well enough. Crazy thing about this piece is that's red. You guys can kind of see the sparkles a little bit in it. From a distance, that shit looks black, but it is actually a candy apple sparkly red. And so, kind of a neat little hidden aspect of it is when you're looking at it, you know, you got it in the sunlight and you're holding it really close. It's like, oh fuck, this thing's actually red. My little brother's saying, oh dang, I had no idea, right? That shit's crazy. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna go get a new fresh soda first. I think that'll be more fun to take than just because this is the last little sorry bits of this soda, so that's not going to be that great of a chaser. I will fill up the Aquarian, grab a new soda. We'll take this shot, and then we'll take another dab out of the apple, and then we'll get this baby ready and take a couple dabs out of it. Topher, thank you, fam, says straight up piece of art, dude. I'm very humbled to have been able to build the bridges that I have with the glass blowers that I've met over the last couple of years, and it's crazy because there's a lot of people that will focus on one artist and collect a lot of their stuff. What I tried to do was sort of the other thing. Like, I have a bunch of pieces from different artists, and I don't really collect one person's stuff. I would say if you're going to call me a collector of an artist, I am a collector of Semi-Glass, because he's made 2, 4, 6, and then counting the piranha plant that broke, that's 7 pieces. That dude's made 7 pieces for me, and a lot of them were up until that time the biggest piece he had made, because when he made Lucy was the biggest recycler he had ever made, and then when he made Marbles, that became the biggest recycler that he'd ever made. And I'm pretty sure that to this day Marbles is still the biggest fucking recycler he's ever made. So I've been very blessed, and it's really cool to be able to say I have so many pieces from so many different artists, because seriously, if you take a look around this office, and I'm pretty sure I could remember most of the names, but I can't remember all of them at this point, and it would take a while to actually go through all the different people that I've ended up buying from. And that's really the cool thing, is that a lot of times it's from the artist directly and not through a shop. There have been maybe 1 or 2 times where I've bought through an online head shop, but that's about it. For all of the pieces that I own, fucking quartz and drop downs and bubble caps and all that shit, maybe 2 or 3 times that's been through an online head shop. Okay, sorry. I'm going to shut up. We're going to put some water in this piece. I'm going to grab another soda, and we will get to fucking dabbing. Forgot to get the soda. Be right back. Okay. 6 homies in the chat. What's going on, 6 homies? Let's take another shot. Let's take another fat dab out of the toxic apple. Then we'll switch to the Aquarian. Take 2 fat dabs out of that. So I want to say it's going to be 4 fat dabs, 2 shots. We're going to be doing pretty good for this Friday. Whew. To anybody that got here late, if you would like to see a particular piece in action, you want to donate $10 to the PayPal, I will break that out and take some fat dabs out of it. Especially right now, I'm actually in a position where I have dabs to take. So in the future, when they are more scarce, price may go up a little bit to like $20, but it's never going to be more than that. Chef Life, what's going on, fam? My lady says that's a lot of fat dabs. Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing that we haven't done before, though. And you know what's crazy is that, like, I used to do dumb shit like that. I actually have videos on my channel. So to everybody that's watching right now, the 6 homies that are here, I literally have a video on my channel of me doing 2 separate challenges. There's one where I did 5 bowls, completely fucking smashed the entire bowl in under a minute. And then I did another one where I did 6 bowls. Same thing, completely smashed the entire bowl in under a minute. Because I saw somebody else do it and they just barely did it. So I was like, you know what? I could do better. So yeah, we are. So Chef Life says, what you got? I got whiskey and dabs. And we had both Dead Zaku and Topher Min make some donations to the channel, $10, any piece you want to see, I'll break it out, take some dabs. Again, in the future, when I'm a little lower on dabs, I might, hike up the price a little bit to $20, but the option will always be there. So if you guys want to see me break something out that I haven't used or I'm not using at the moment, $10. Donate $10 to the PayPal. We'll break it out, take at least 2 or 3 fat dabs out of it, show some function, and win-win for everybody. So much love. Let's go ahead and take shot number 2 and then get to dab number 2. And then we will switch out the pieces and get to dabs number 3 and 4. Whoo, it's going to be a good Friday, y'all. Fuck. I think I might actually hop on some State of Decay after this and smash on some zombies, because I feel like I can't just waste the high that I'm going to have from these 4 fat dabs. Like, I actually have to do something with it. So why not kill some zombies? That sounds like the best way to use that high. Kill some undead bitches. All right. Shot number 2, dab number 2. If you guys got it, smoke it up, dab it up, fucking spark it up. Let's make it happen. Whiskey. Oh, fresh soda. That's not what I was going to say. That's just a burp. What I was going to say is, you guys can't hear this, but I can. He's already snoring. That's the kind of life he has. And so the thing that I keep kind of like going back and forth with in my head is whether or not to take him to the demos that I'm going to be doing. Because on one side, he's super social and he would actually draw people to the table because everybody fucking loves him. So people are going to want to pet the dog. And while they're petting the dog, they're going to want to talk about what's on my table. But I don't want to use him as a sales pitch to help me do better at my job. I should be good enough at my job to get people to talk at the table. So I don't want to use him like that. And also, unless I bring like his bed, unless I bring that too, he's either going to have to stand with me the whole time that I'm there, or he's going to have to lay down on like concrete or something. And he's getting older. Like, he's going to be like 9 or 10 years old. And I don't want him to do that. If he's here, he's got his bed, he's got the 2 other dogs that he knows that he's comfortable with, he's got the house to run around in. So I feel like it's okay if he doesn't go with me to every event, and that's not something that I need to worry about too much. But at the same time, he's like my shadow and he goes everywhere with me. So the possibility of being able to take him kind of has to be on the table, because there may be a time where I want to take him, and it's not like he can't handle that. He's a great dog, but I need to be able to take him. And I think that I'm overthinking it just because he's a pit bull, but he's got a vest, a service dog vest and all that shit. So I don't worry about him. I worry about other animals, because that's where the problem's going to be, is people that can't control their fucking dogs. Like, when I take this guy for a walk, I don't need a leash. And people that know me in my personal life, like Zaku, if he's still here, he can tell you. My lady, if she checks in and she's actually still here, she can tell you, like, I don't need a leash for this dog when I take him out on a walk. He's going to do everything that I tell him to do. And honestly, we're so kind of in tune with each other because he's been in my pack for so long. Like, he knows what I expect of him, so he kind of just does everything without me really having to tell him. Like, I can just kind of signal to him with my hands, and he already knows what's up. But again, he's been in my pack for a long time. I've had him since he was like a year and a half, and he's going to be like 8 or 9 years old. And it took time and patience and a lot of work. But what I will say about that is, aside from all that shit, I was very blessed that he's just a good dog and he's willing to learn and he definitely wants to please. So it was really like I would have had to have tried pretty hard to fuck it up to not be able to trade him because he's a good dog. Zaku says, I seen it. We've been on walks. I mean, he knows. Yeah, it's funny because he's snoring pretty good right now. Just chilling. All right, we got 5 homies in the chat. What's going on, 5 homies? 12:24. We are no longer in Friday. That's the thing. I think the West Coast is like the last one to get to the next part of the day, because it seems like when other people check in from other parts of the world, they're always ahead. Nobody ever checks in from behind us in time. And that's kind of, I noticed that. But it's weird to be able to have a conversation with somebody and, somebody will check in from the super east side and they'll be like, dude, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning over here. It's like, damn, it's only like 12:30. What the fuck? Like, you're literally in the future right now and we're talking. You're talking into the past. Local Tom says, question, does smaller glass call for better flavor over larger glass? That's kind of... That's the popular opinion, and there may be science behind it. The way most people explain is just the shorter distance from the actual dab to your lungs. So yes, there's more flavor, there's more potency, all that kind of stuff. I think that there's other things that go into that equation. Like, yes, smaller glass may give you kind of like better taste and whatnot, but on what scale is the margin for how much better it is versus like this rig right here? Because this isn't a super large rig, but most people would I think most people would consider this probably like a normal size rig. It's about the size of a can of soda. So like there are people that would consider this a small rig, and to be completely honest, most of the time I would have considered these guys like smaller, not really medium size, but smaller rigs. And then I would consider something like the Aquarian to be like a middle size rig. I get so much flavor out of the Aquarian and out of Marbles and out of the Red Menace, which is also a really large double uptake recycler. I feel like it's unfair. Well, I don't know, like how much, again, what's the margin for like how much more flavor you get out of it? Because I'm not saying that there isn't a difference, but also like So in my opinion, you may get more flavor, but you're also sacrificing some of the impact of the hit and also the size of the cloud so that you can get that little tiny bit, which to me is like negligible, of flavor. I would rather have a larger cloud and give up a tiny bit of taste, when it comes to like the size of the rig. And so here's the other thing, though. It's not like I went into my collection of that shit with Semi telling him, I want you to make the biggest recycler you've ever made. I had no idea. Lucy was the first custom recycler that he made that big and was really like the first custom recycler I had him make for me. I had no fucking idea. When that came in the mail, I was like, what the fuck is this? And kind of the same thing with marbles. Like, I did not tell him, look, dude, you remember Lucy? It needs to be bigger. Like, I didn't tell him this has to be huge. I gave him an idea for the kind of shape that I wanted and more or less the accents that I wanted on it. And I assumed that he was going to make a piece relative to the references that I gave him, which weren't that big. And again, when marbles came in the mail and I saw the box, I was like, he fucking did it again, dude. And I was like, how am I gonna use this on a regular basis? Like, this is not a fucking regular dab rig. But you know what? For a while, that was my daily driver. And dude, fucked up my tolerance. So 420 says, smaller glass, in my opinion, gives you more flavor. And 420, I agree with you. But the thing is like, how much more? Is it so much more that it's like, it's worth using a smaller rig? Because I'll be honest, I get plenty of flavor out of Lucy. I get plenty of flavor out of marbles. So, like, how much more flavor exactly do you get? Because I very much enjoy the dabs that I take out of those rigs, and even the Aquarian. The Aquarian is not a small rig. There's a lot of fucking water in that base, and we're about to take some dabs out of this, and I guarantee you they're going to taste amazing. So how much more amazing exactly do the dabs taste out of the smaller rigs? I'm not doubting that there is more taste, but it's like, does it really matter that much? So it's an argument for both sides, because I'm a person that, like I said earlier, I'm willing to sacrifice that however much taste that gives you. I'm willing to sacrifice that for the bigger cloud and more impact on taking a dab. When I take a dab, I want that lung punch, I want it to fucking hit me a little bit. And I want to blow a nice fat cloud, That's why we collect beautiful custom pieces of glass, so that we can take nice flavorful rips out of it and blow these fucking dragon clouds. Let's see. 420 says, I also find the portability is a benefit as well, which honestly I will agree with, because my Chubby Glass by Nate Illuminati Chub Cycler, this is my daily driver. And one of the reasons why I use it so much is not only is it easy to maintain, but it's also, for the functionality, super duper portable. I can clean this up and throw it in a small case with I can literally fit this, the drop down and the nail, the fucking bubble cap, the dabber. I can fit all of it in one case because it's not a very big piece. So I definitely understand the advantages of just the like 420 said, the portability. It is a benefit on a level, but then there's something about, for me, fam, there's something about having a good, like, and that's why I had Grime make me another apple, because I wanted more space in the base for water, because I wanted a proper chug, because I wanted to be able to blow a fat cloud. And that's what I love about pretty much all of the fucking recyclers that Semi has made me. Again, let's just go ahead and look at the aquarium, because we're about to take the next 2 dabs after this one out of this guy. There's a lot of water in that base. It moves dabs and water effortlessly, and that's one of the things that I like about the bigger recyclers. And so that also speaks to my particular style of dabbing. I like to take bigger dabs. Bigger rigs handle bigger dabs better. And there's a lot of people that might take dabs out of smaller rigs that think that they take large dabs. Take a big dab, what I would consider a big dab out of marbles, and then we'll talk like you take big dabs. And I don't say that to sound pretentious. I'm just saying that because at this point I have to recognize that there is a little bit of truth to like this mythology that's been built around Dead Cynic as this guy that takes fat dabs. You know what? I do take kind of large dabs. You know what? I have kind of fucked up my tolerance. You know what? I don't really cough anymore when I take dabs. Like there's certain things that are true, and the thing is, I fucked up my tolerance pretty bad. So I prefer bigger pieces because you get bigger clouds off of that, and I like big clouds. So let's go ahead and take this dab. I'm gonna shut up so we can actually get this shit done. We're gonna take the next dab out of the apple, then we're gonna take the next 2 out of the aquarium. I hope that you guys are ready. If you guys got something to smoke on, dab on, fucking light it up, spark it up, dab it up. Let's get it going, fam. Fuck. I'm gonna be doing great. 420 says, yeah, tolerance is definitely a factor for sure. And fam, I fucked up my tolerance a long time ago, and I've said it time and time again on other streams. I will say it with no problem this stream. Like, I kind of admire people that have a lower tolerance because they don't waste money like I do. I have to buy a considerable amount of dabs to get myself what I would say comfortably fucking stoned. There are some people that come to my house, they take 1 dab off of a decent sized rig and they're fucking chilling. Like, I have to remind them that they're okay and they're in a safe place and they're chilling. So I don't know, like, again, I don't say it to be pretentious or anything. I just have to acknowledge it at some point because there's a reason why I have all this fucking glass in my collection. Like, I've used it. And to a point, like, I have kind of fucked my tolerance. And I was actually telling my lady about this when she was here. Like, there's almost a level where I don't even do this because I'm using it as meds or I do it to get high. There is part of it where it's just I enjoy the ritual and I enjoy blowing smoke. And I fucking hate the vape community. And when I say that, I'm sorry if any of you guys like vape on a regular basis. The thing is, you're here, so you're part of the 420 community too. That's why I like you. People that just vape like the nicotine shit or whatever, and like they're part of that whole thing where they do tricks with the smoke, like I think those people are, there's something about them that just rubs me the wrong way. So I would rather use a dab rig or use a bong or something to blow a cloud than I would a fucking vape. And there was a time where I was buying cartridges here and there, but like so I have a review of maybe two different vape batteries on my channel. Other than that, you don't really hear me talk about vapes, and that's because I don't use them. You know, I would rather take the dabs. I would rather roll the joint. I would rather smoke the bowl. There's just something about the vape game that I never caught on, and it never was that appealing to me. Like, yes, there is a convenience to it. It's awesome to be able to, you know, take a couple puffs off of a pen, throw it in your backpack. You don't have to worry about it. It's not going to smell that bad. Like, that is cool, yeah. But the thing is you have to go, in order to find like a decent vape cart, because so many of them are just black market bullshit. And even the ones that like you would find at a dispensary, I don't know, like I feel like vape carts is where people send all their trash, because by the time you refine that shit into something that's going to be put into a vape cart, nobody knows the actual quality of your starting material, because you could make it taste like whatever. So I don't know. I've just never really trusted vape carts. And my lady says, yeah, your tolerance is high. That might be one of the reasons why I don't really prefer carts, is because I do feel like with my tolerance, there isn't really a cart that does it for me. Like I have to take dabs, I have to smoke the J, I have to smoke the bowl, but for, I don't know, like carts, they just don't do it for me. 420 says, just saying facts, Cynic, it's not pretentious. And you know what? I appreciate that, fam. I'm sorry to have to throw it out there. Like, I'm looking for you guys to tell me, no, you're not pretentious. But you know what? I feel sometimes like I have to say it. I don't want to sound pretentious, because I fucking hate people that brag. I hate people that are pretentious. So I never want to be that guy. And I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record when I throw it out there, but that's a big no-no to me. It's like, fuck pretentious people, man. 420 says, in my opinion, vaping is less convenient. You have to charge the battery all the time. They break way easier. I take flour and a spoon pipe all day over that. You know what, 420? I would actually agree with you. There are a lot of third-party batteries that they'll work for maybe like 2 charges, right? And then you'll try and use it after it's been working fine, and it's just fucking dead. So I will absolutely agree with you on that. Just in the technology itself, it's like, you know what, if they could just pin down a couple of good brands and maybe have like 10 different pens that you could buy, instead of this sea of bullshit, and then maybe a couple of good ones in between. Then I don't want to have to try like 5 different fucking batteries before I find one that I can keep for more than like a couple of weeks. So I totally agree with that. Corey says, hey, brother, just wanted to say hi. Hope you're doing well. Can't stay on because it's almost 4 a.m. Gotta work. See, this is the example of people checking in from the future. It's going to be 1 o'clock here. Corey is 3 hours ahead. It's almost 4 fucking o'clock in the morning. He is talking to us from the future. Corey, what's going on, fam? Thank you for checking in. We are about to take a fat dab, and then we're going to change up the rigs and take 2 fat dabs out of another rig. Hope you're having a great night. We are going to test my lady's comment here. She says, yeah, your tolerance is high. We are 1 dab in. We're about to take dab number 2, and then we're going to do 2 other ones. So, woo! Let's get her done. I'm going to put on a little mix that'll stay on for a while. Start this BZ from the beginning.
We're going to send this one out to the old school.
To the old school. We are coming up on 2 hours, guys, so I hope you are ready, because we still got a lot of shit to do. We got 3 more dabs to take. Probably going to take another shot before we check out, too. 420 says the good products stand out with time. Absolutely. Good products speak for themselves. And the longer time goes on, the more people are exposed to it, and you just can't say no to a good thing. Corey says, I'm doing well, just been working, and we know Nate's tolerance was low that day. Much love to Brother Nate. Awesome guy. Brother Corey is another awesome guy. They actually came out to visit, and we fucked Nate up. He took 1 dab, and he was chilling. He parked himself in a chair, and he was good for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. Like, there was a point where he stood up, and I saw his knees fucking wobbling, and I was like, my boy's not doing all right. And, you know, what I will say is that he's a fucking trooper. And he went into the bathroom and he fucking hacked up a lung or 2. And, you know what? He was good. Because after a little bit, after he got his second win, he helped us make stuff for dinner and he was chilling. So we took a shot. Hey, it was a good night. So much love to Corey and to Brother Nate. Jesse says, ready for my second dab of the day. Just got here. That's what's up, Jesse. Well, we're about to take the second dab of the day. So 11 homies in the chat. That's what's up. Yes, I'm sure that burger really helped. 420 says, as long as you're around good people, greening out can be scary. And that's what I was just trying to remind Brother Nate, is that he was in a safe place. He was chilling and that he was all good. And because he was in another state. He wasn't anywhere close to home, so I could definitely see how paranoia might set in. And yeah, that was one of the first things that I actually went to when I noticed that he was super duper high. I was just like, hey, bro, just want to remind you that you're okay. You're chilling. You're in a safe place. Like, you're around chill people, so you're all right. Just want to let you know you're all right. And he got through it, and we chilled, and we had a good night. So, fuck yeah. Time to take dab number 2. Alrighty, y'all, whatever you got. Light it up, smoke it up, dab it up. Alright, sorry, you guys are going to look at the top of my head for a second while I gauge the temperature of this banger. We got to make sure that we take it at a good temp. 420. I'll answer that right after I take this dab. Well, actually, so my short answer is really what it's about is to make people not real. So it's an effort to hide the fact that we don't really disagree that much, and that the stuff that gets disliked, like majorly, is stuff that's fucked up. So them hiding how many dislikes somebody gets, it's not to help anything. It's just to show, it's to actually hide the fact that we don't really argue that much about certain subjects. All right, time to take this dab. Much love, y'all. Little brother, hope you're still here. This dab is for you. Whoa. Okay then. 420. I really wouldn't be surprised, seeing as how anything that you watch on cable television is owned by one of 6 companies. That kind of fits right into that narrative. So it doesn't surprise me at all. 9 homies in the chat. What's going on, guys? We just took dab number 2 out of the toxic apple. This is actually the second toxic apple that we have in the collection. The first one is available for sale, $700, shipped in a Pelican. Let me go ahead and put that on camera real quick. Comes with this Pelican right here that has this Day of the Dead Snow White sticker on it. This right here is the first apple. It is for sale, $700, shipped in a Pelican. Fully sculpted piece, a lot of detail. Some of Grimes, honestly, early work. So if you're a collector and you like people's early work, this is Grimes' early skull shit. And to be completely honest, if it doesn't sell, I'm not really worried about it. I'll keep it in the collection and I'll have 2 toxic apples. I don't give a fuck. I normally don't sell pieces out of the collection, and it really wasn't like I had never really thought about collecting to sell pieces. So it wasn't even something I really thought I would do. But I figured, you know what? I do have 2 of the, not exact same piece, but the theme of it is basically exactly the same. They're both toxic apples. They look completely different, but they're both the same thing. So I figure, you know, if I have 2, maybe somebody might want one. And I understand that custom glass, I'm going to be advertising that thing for a while before somebody actually buys it, because custom glass is not easy to move because it's custom. Like, not everybody likes slime. Not everybody cares that you know, particular green was used and all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of people that don't see the value in the price that I'm asking. But his simple clear work with skulls on it goes for $700. So a fully sculpted piece that he doesn't even really do that often, that's not a bad price to ask for, $700. Like, I'm really not making a whole lot on that deal. Even including the Pelican, I am not making a whole lot of money on that deal. But that's the point. The point, like, and so to fucking bring this bitch around full circle, sarcastically, I'm not like some dispensary that's gonna buy a piece where I got it for this much money and then I'm gonna sell it for 3 times as much. Like, I'm asking for a fair price for that piece, and especially shipped in a Pelican, it's really not that bad. And people that want to argue with that price, they really don't understand the worth of glass. And that's how I'm going to be able to tell who's a serious buyer and who isn't. Because people that aren't serious buyers aren't going to see the worth in the asking price that I am asking, and they're going to try and haggle with me. And that's cool. I just am not going to haggle. 420 says, hit up Pedro and Dizzy. They might be interested. I don't know if you're telling me to do that, fam, or if you're saying that you did that. Because that's the thing, is I have no idea who those people are. But yeah, if you want to send them my way, you know that my tag on IG is exactly the same. So Dead Cynic. And I actually have, so here, I can show you guys on this shit right now. On my profile, I have this thing right here where it says glass for sale. And that's the only piece that's there. Bam. So if somebody wants to actually see it, all they got to do is go to my profile on Instagram, and they can literally watch that over and over and over again to look at all the details on that piece. Oh, he says, I'm telling you to do it. Okay, well, here's the thing, fam. I'm 2 shots in, and I'm also 2 dabs in. So, like, if you want to send that to me on Instagram, awesome. What I thought you were saying is I hit up Pedro and Dizzy, they might be interested. Because literally all you'd have to do is send them my profile and be like, dude has a glass for sale thing right there on his profile. Just click on it. And so 420, I appreciate you reaching out and saying these people might be interested. Here's why I'm not going to do that, though, because when someone hits me up out of the blue trying to sell me something, I remember being on the team for selling Kirby's and going to someone's house. That's the ultimate goal, is when you walk up to someone's house that you never met before and you tell them that you're selling something that they right off the bat do not want, and not only do you convince them to let you into their house, but then also you convince them to buy that thing that initially they didn't even want you to come into their house to talk about. That was one of the ultimate fucking tests of a salesman. And I gotta say, I do not enjoy doing that. And anytime someone has ever hit me up and been like, I have something that you should buy, and I didn't inquire to them about that at all, it automatically turns me off. So all I'm saying, 420 is, again, I appreciate absolutely that you threw out those 2 recommendations, but that's the reason why I'm not going to do that. Is just that's not how I sell stuff. If somebody wants something, they'll see what I'm selling, they'll ask me about it. And again, if you would like to send them my profile and just be like, the dude has a thing, glass for sale right there, all you got to do is click on it, I really appreciate that. And you know what? I'm super stoked that when I was saying it's for sale, somebody actually came to mind and you actually had recommendations for me. I appreciate that, fam. Okay, so now that we have taken the 2 dabs out of the toxic apple, let's switch to the Aquarian, pack 2 fat dabs in that, and take those for Topher. Topher, I'm sorry that I've taken so long. I hope that you are still here. My little brother, Dead Zaku, thank you so much for your donation, sir. I hope that those dabs were satisfactory for the donation that you gave. And I love you. Hope that you have a great night. I'm pretty sure that since tonight's Friday, this is actually your Friday, so you should probably be chilling with us still. Hey, he is here. He says, shoo. That's what's up. That's my little brother right there. Yeah, thank you so much for the donation. And I appreciate it because that will actually encourage me to break out pieces that I normally don't use because I just use this little guy out of the sheer convenience. So, okay, let me clean up this banger real quick before we switch rigs. And that way, once I bring that rig over here, we can just heat up the nail and take these fucking dabs. Two shots in, two fat dabs in. We are a little over 2 hours into the stream, coming up on 2 hours, 10 minutes. Much love from the Valley out in Cali. We started out in Friday. We are now in Saturday. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Much love to everybody tuning in. Much love to everyone that has tuned in. Much love to everybody tuning in after the fact. If you ever want to catch us on the live stream, we normally do it on Friday. The times are going to kind of vary because I may actually have shit to do on certain Fridays, so I may not get home until a little bit later. But on the Fridays that we do it, it's normally somewhere from around 9 to 10 o'clock that we start. And what we have been doing for the last couple of months is usually around an hour and a half to 2 hours. Normally around an hour and a half. But like on nights like tonight where we be chilling, it's going to go for longer. We've done plenty of good sized streams. We are no stranger to fucking marathon streaming. Zaku says, I have an idea for a Sitka shirt. Just make the logo smaller and put it on the left side of the chest. Keep the design on the back. Oh, yeah. Hey, so, you know what, Broski? I actually really like the big center design. And I totally see what you're saying. Absolutely. But I do enjoy just having a big, boom, fucking Sitka right there. Because my hoodie just has a little square, like a hash cube square with an S in it. And as cool as that is, I almost kind of wish that it had, like what you're saying, like a smaller Sitka, but it had the entire name. And even if it was like this big across the front, I'd be cool with that. But I wish that it had the entire name and not just the S, because then it's not until you turn around, then it has the entire emblem on it. 420 says, Pedro's link, he is a master hash maker. That's dope. I rep for a company that makes old school Lebanese dry sift hash. But yep. All right. This nail is clean. So let's go ahead and transfer. Oh boy. Time for the last two dabs. Whew. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty swifty already, y'all. So this is gonna be fucking awesome. We got some thanks a lot. So let's take a nice fat dab of that. 8 homies in the chat. What's going on, 8 homies in the chat? We are going in on dab number 3, and that's going to be off of the Aquarian for the next 2 dabs, and this is going to be for Topher. Much love, Topher. Thank you so much for your donation. 420 says you got to check out his channel. You know what, fam? I will definitely check out his channel. We need to be bigger than that. There we go. So this is what we got to dab on right now. Those 4 grams. And then this guy right here is the hash that I was showing you earlier. So that's that that's that Lebanese hash mixed with the live resin. And then we also have the the personal stash right here. A couple more grams. So we're doing all right. And that's why I was saying, you know, we can make the donation pretty affordable right now, 10, 20 bucks when we're really hurting. But yeah, 10 bucks if anybody wants to see a particular piece, I'll take some fat dabs out of it. Right now we actually have some dabs to go around, so we're going to take a fat dab of this. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot to everybody that's fucking tuning in right now. It is 1:05 Cali time. Ooh, I got 2 more dabs and a shot left in me. So much love to you guys for hanging out, getting this far. All right, let's go ahead and switch this up. We got 22 minutes into it, so we did pretty good. Turn this up a little bit. All right, here we go. Here we go. So I'm at about 740. I'm going to take this around like 580. So we got a little bit. So if you need to get your bowl ready, if you need to spark that J, We need to give your nail a little bump. You got time. We're about 680 right now. Jesse says, yo, finally got a base glass spike bubble cap, but got the wrong one by mistake. Don't you have a sunset slime with pink UV? So I have two, fam. I'm at 650 right now. I have a completely citrine base glass cap, and then I have a sunset slime with pink, what is it? Electric flamingo, or whatever the pink UV is. I think it's electric flamingo. Whew. Fuck. Okay. So that was dab number 3. Give me a second to catch my breath. To Jesse. So there's this guy, which if I were to put him under this light right here, he'd turn pink because he's sunset slime. Crystals are clear in regular light. Bright pink under UV. It's really dope. I don't know how well and then the little brother just bought a Gen 1 style Megatron, Starscream, and Soundwave. Fuck. That's dope, broski. Then we have the all citrine base glass bubble cap. Woo. Super vibrant green. Yeah, those are those are my based glass pieces. I like him. He's a very talented and popular artist, so I thought it was cool to be able to get some custom pieces from him because those are both custom caps. Woo, fuck. Jesse says he won a crushed opal cap with pomegranate spikes. And then he also got a spiked potion CFL purple gray made with a whistle sound though. Yeah, I don't think they mean to do that, brother, but sometimes the way that the air travels through them, they end up with a whistle. I don't like it either. So you and me are on the same page. If I buy a bubble cap, I don't want it to whistle. I want it to just do its fucking job. So I don't really like that either. I'm sorry that your cap ended up like that. I have a couple like that in my collection. And the shitty thing is they're really heady caps. So that makes me not even use them. And it sucks when people are just like, how come you never use this? And I have to be like, because it fucking whistles. They're like, what do you mean? And then I just fucking, take a little bit of air through it. And you can totally hear that shit. And they're just like, oh. So, yeah. I understand what you're saying 100%. And it fucking sucks. The, what is it? The purple gray is called Parallax. And I actually have so check this out, fam. For the longest fucking time, I had this bubble cap. And I didn't realize that these two joints right here, the fucking base between the top of the handle and the actual bubble cap and the nose, I never realized that it was a CFL color. And one day I was looking at it and this light was off and it was just that light back there. And I was like, normally this shit looks like kind of gray. But if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that motherfucker was purple right now. And like I went and I took it over to that light and it was bright purple. And I looked it up and that color is Parallax, fam. It's a really neat name too. That's why I remember it. It's because Parallax is just fun to say. Like it's just a dope sounding fucking name. Thank you, fam. Yeah, and so I had that cap for like a year. At least a year. I want to say it could have been longer. And I never thought that it was a CFL color because when I bought it from the guy, he never said that it was. I just bought it because it was slime. So, like, it never really registered the other times where I saw it and it was kind of a different color. But yeah, it didn't really. But one day I was looking at it and I was like, dude, that shit looks like it's a different color. And it was a CFL color, and that's Parallax. Yeah, there's some really my lady says I don't remember seeing that cap, and it's a cap that I used. Well, it was not when you were around. It was a long time ago, but that was a cap that I used on a regular basis. That normally sits in the toxic barrel. So you probably didn't notice it because there's so much slime on the toxic barrel. It actually fits right in. It looks like it's part of the piece. Okay, guys, so I need to take a leak. If any of you need to grab a soda or pack another bowl or get something ready, now is the time to do it because I'm going to be gone for just a second. I'll be right back. We're going to take the fourth dab of the night. Then we're going to take shot number 3 and we're going to check the fuck out. We've been on for, by the time I get back, we'll be on for about 2.5 hours. By the time we get done, we'll probably be on for around like 2:45, maybe even 3 hours. So hope you guys have had fun. I definitely have had fun. I'm pretty fucking swifty. But yeah, this is a cap from SM. I I think it's SM glass. It might actually be SMG glass, but I want to say it's SM glass. And I've got a couple of caps from him. This was a custom cap that he made for me, blackened slime with a nice fat opal on it. But yeah, I thought he did awesome work. And so this is actually a cap that I keep right in front of me. Jesse says, never got the red one, going to get 2 customs instead. Hope to goodness they won't whistle. Don't think I'll mention him to that though. Absolutely mention that to him, bro. Be like, hey, one thing, fam, I spent a lot of money on this cap and I noticed it whistled. I wasn't a really big fan of that. So when you make these next ones, if you get custom caps, ask him. Be like, can you please make sure that they don't whistle? Like, there's got to be some way that you can alter it if it does whistle to where there's more air or something. But can you actually try and avoid that if you don't mind? Because one thing that artists are going to try, and I'm not saying that this guy did that, but one thing that artists are going to try and do to you over the course of your collecting career, fam, is they're going to make you feel like you're a dick for asking for things that they can actually do, and they're just fucking lazy, or they don't really want to do it because they've already been paid, or what the fuck ever. But if you're spending your hard-earned money on a piece of custom glass, then there are certain considerations that they shouldn't mind actually, like, trying to take care of. And if that's something that bothers you, because it's something that bothers me, so you're not by yourself. You're not like a weird person for thinking that. It bothers me too. Ask him. When you get a fucking custom cap, be like, hey fam, you know what? I know it's not something that you tried to do on purpose, but can you test this one before you send it out to me and make sure that it doesn't whistle? And if it does, can you at least try like once or twice to change it to where it doesn't whistle? Because I don't want the cap that I use all the time. I don't want my favorite fucking cap when I look at it to be like, fuck, this thing whistles. If they don't understand that, then you know what? Maybe spend your money somewhere else. But you're not an asshole for wanting something in particular in your glass. And if you're spending your own money on something and you're getting a custom, then that should be, if that's one of the things that you want in your custom, then you should be able to ask for that. My lady says, there is this one rainbow cap Cynic has that's so beautiful, but he don't use it because the whistle. Yes, that's my cap from Dakota Madrona. So Jesse, let me go ahead and break that cap out for you so I can show you an example of exactly what I'm talking about. Jesse says, I think he will get offended, maybe getting a smaller 25 millimeter size. Okay, I'll be as nice as possible about it. Thanks. And so, Jesse, I'm not saying be a dick about it. Absolutely find a professional way to put it. But that's the thing, is what I'm trying to say is don't be afraid to have specifications for a custom piece, and don't be afraid to say, hey fam, you know, it's something that I don't really care for. Is there any way that we can avoid this? There's nothing. I don't think that there's anything wrong with asking that. And so this right here. So this, well, I need to show you guys with a better camera angle because it never focuses like it's supposed to. So this right here is a blue stardust and rainbow bubble cap from Dakota Madrona. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Here's the other thing, Jesse, is that you're spending your hard-earned money on something. You really gonna walk on eggshells just so this person doesn't get offended? Like, and I'm not gonna touch on it anymore. Forgive me for touching on it that much. It's just I'm 2 shots in. I think about stuff a lot. But you know why I don't use this fucking thing? When I take a dab, I don't want to fucking hear that. So, as beautiful as that cap is, that right there fucking ruins it for me. And that's not the only cap that I have like that. I have other expensive caps that do that shit. And I don't like it. You know what? I'll be right back, guys. I gotta take a leak. And then we will take that shot. We will take that dab. We will actually, we'll take the shot first, and then we'll take the dab. So 6 homies in the chat. Give me just a second. I will be right back.
Brought levity to each other's lives. But there's a lot more to life than that, and I realized that in these last few years. And we just became very different people. And so we had nothing in common overnight. It was very...
All right. And you know what? Just to show you guys. This one right here. This was actually a collab that this guy Sticky Glass did with somebody else. So the collab that he did was with somebody that makes really good space tech. So this has some really neat space patterns to it. But it also has this face. Big old eyeball and a little snaggletooth mouth. This fuck. That was not a cheap bubble cap. It was not a cheap bubble cap because it was a collab. And this space tech is, I guess it's not easy to make or what the fuck ever. You fucking hear that? That's not cool for that much money. So yeah, I've had a lot of experience. Let's see, Jesse says, I told an artist to tighten the opening hole and he blocked me. Jesse, you know what that means? That you don't need to do business with that glass blower. People need to be able to take constructive criticism and understand that their design may not necessarily be the perfect design. And maybe a customer is just trying to recommend something that will improve the function or make it more appealing to future buyers. And those are the guys that you want to do business with. So if somebody blocked you because you gave them constructive criticism, don't take that as, oh man, I just need to be as nice as possible and not give anybody any criticism ever. No, fuck that, because we spend hundreds of dollars of our hard-earned money on these people's craft. So yes, there's a part where we're investing in them, but don't let them treat you like they're doing you a favor, because you paid for that shit. So I'm just going to say that. I don't want to make you feel like you're doing something wrong, but I will just say, never underestimate your importance as a consumer and as a collector, because we pay these motherfuckers bills. The reason why they have gas in their torches is because we buy their glass. The reason why they have food on their table is because we buy their glass. So the least that they can do is every now and then when we have a small request is fill that request. That's just good business. And so, babe, I would just say one of these days we'll go through the collection from side to side. Like, we'll actually start right here with your piece of glass, the jellyfish, and we'll work all the way around. We'll go to this bookshelf right here because it's got a bunch of shit on it. The speaker has a bunch of shit on it, and then we'll work through the closet. Because there's stuff that I don't even have out on display. There are weed bowls. I mean, everything for dabs, all the fucking dab rigs and bubble caps and stuff, that's out on display. But there's still weed stuff that you probably have never seen before, like bowls that have never been used and are completely clean. She says, I'm always looking, but still always find new things. Been collecting for a long time. All right. Time to take the last dab of the night. Hope you guys have all had a great evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Much love to my little brother, Dead Zaku. Much love to Topher. Both of those very kind gentlemen donated to the channel, and because of that we broke out a couple of different pieces that you normally don't see. Broke out the Toxic Apple, broke out the Aquarian. We are going to close out the night with the Aquarian. Take another fat dab. Here we go. So I only have one witch finger. I don't have multiple witch fingers. All right. Okay, so this right here is my witch finger. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Nope, doesn't want to focus. Alright, well, if it's not going to focus, I'm not really going to bother with it. But yeah, that's the witch finger. Let's see. Jesse says, I remember I got a bubble cap for 60 with an encased opal with 3 UV colors. Atomic blue, so blue UV or blue V, I guess. Yellow tip, so what is that? Luna. So blue V, Luna. Kamehameha fire with an opal. Okay, so you're gonna have to elaborate a little bit on that one for me, Jesse, because you say 3 UV colors and I count 2. The atomic blue ball, which to me just sounds like blue V. The yellow UV tip, which would be Luna. And then the Kamehameha fire with the opal inside. That sounds like a design and not a color. So I'm wondering what the third UV color is. And if I missed something, I apologize, but let's go ahead and throw your comment up there. Okay, so the last color was citrine. So atomic blue ball is a little bit darker. Oh, I bet I know what it is that instead of being clear when no UV is on it, there's probably a little bit of blue when there's no light on it. And then it's also blue when you hit it with the UV. Because blue V, that's what this drop down is made out of, and it's completely clear when there's no UV on it. And I'm not exactly sure that they do different shades of UV reactiveness with the colors. I'm pretty sure that you just get like blue or yellow or pink. I don't know that they've mastered getting shades of different colors. Maybe they do. That would be crazy. Okay, so he just answered right there. It looks the same as blue stardust. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. So when there is no UV on it, it is also blue, as opposed to something like blue V, where it's actually 2 different colors. And when there is no UV on it, it is clear. When you hit it with the UV, it turns blue. This atomic blue ball is blue no matter what you do. So it's blue in regular light, and then when you hit it with the UV, you get that super bright blue pop to it. Which is dope because I'm a big fan of blue stardust, and I think... So then, Jesse, is it sparkly as well? Like in normal light, does it have kind of a sparkle to it? Because that would be dope. And I'm assuming he says it looks the same as blue stardust, so it probably is. But anyway, I'm going to shut up. We're going to take this dab. Yeah. Coming up on 3 hours, y'all. I'm pretty sure that by the time we take this dab and take the last shot of the night, that's probably where we are going to be. Just need to take a sniff of this Maui Wowie. Ooh, that shit is danky. Jesse says, "Oh yes, indeed, it sparkles." That's what's up, Jesse. That sounds like a dope color. Atomic blue ball. Alright, that's clean enough. Let's get to this dab, guys. Fuck. This is the most that we've smoked on camera in a while. Jesse says, when are we getting that Catholic Church video? But many Catholic are against the Pope and statues. So, if they are, then why are they still Catholics? That seems weird. I don't know, maybe that's just me. As far as when is that video coming, I don't fucking know. I would love to tell you sometime soon, but I've kind of dialed back from making content just because I've sort of been busy. So, I mean, if we do that, it's going to be a live stream. So it'll probably be like on a Friday or something like that. And if it is, then anybody that is a regular attendee of a live stream is probably going to catch it. So you're going to be, I imagine you're going to be fine, fam. Jesse says 1 billion Catholics think different. That's a lot. And my question doesn't change, though. If you guys think so different from the Pope, then why do you follow his religion? Why not just be Christian? Because you like the tradition. Doesn't matter if the Pope's involved or not. You're stuck on that tradition. And the reason why I know that is because a lot of Catholics aren't even Catholics because they choose to be. They're Catholics because they were born into Catholic families that are generations deep into that shit. But that's not a conversation for tonight, Jesse. You're not gonna keep me on for another 3 hours, motherfucker. Like, we're gonna take this last dab, we're gonna take this last shot, and we'll get to that video some other time. Gotta eat dinner. It's already gonna be like 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, we'll talk about it. I'll talk about this shit. But not tonight, motherfucker. Throat is dry as fuck. Oh. Shit. Can't even talk right. So much smoke. All right. Damn. My lady says, don't poke the bear. She knows from personal experience that because of all the research that I've done, I am fairly confident in my arguments. And it takes a pretty persuasive counter argument to persuade me away from what I think. And yeah. Oh. I haven't read all of them. But I've read a lot of them. So when people want to talk about stuff, pretty opinionated. I am opinionated about things that I have researched, but I'm opinionated for a reason, and that's why. I love to read. I think everybody should read. I think everybody should research shit, and everybody should ask questions. Even me, like I've said it many times on many streams. If I say something, I think you should research that and verify that. And everybody should, especially if you're watching something here on social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, I don't give a shit, fucking TikTok. You should always take what you hear and what you see with a grain of salt, and you should always question everything, and you should always verify stuff that you hear. And I think that it's a great idea to research things and do your own independent verification. Be smart. Don't just fucking regurgitate a bunch of headlines that you've heard. Like, do a little bit of research, read some books about some stuff. Let's find a good song to check out on. This was a good one. But my lady, he's very opinionated. I am. Here's the thing though, especially here in this chat, I feel like this should be a place where everybody can come and voice their opinion. I may not agree with you, but I feel like we should be able to at least say what we think, even if we don't agree. Now, I'll admit, I'm guilty of sometimes maybe going in on people a little too hard if I've had a couple of shots and I'm feeling pretty swifty. But if you watch this channel and you've been here since the beginning of the stream, and you bring up something and you know I'm going to disagree with you, and you've been here and you've watched me take the shots, I don't know how bad I really feel for like putting you on the spot or kind of like disagreeing with you kind of hard. Like, you watch this channel, you know what you're going to get. I can only tone it back so far for so long before it's like, if you're going to come in and intentionally disagree or say something to try and get a rise out of me, don't be surprised when you get one. Topher says, don't see you cough often. She is ripping. Happy holidays, brother. You know what, fam? It's the combination of all four of the dabs. Like, fuck. Normally, I would space out. Like, even if I take 2 dabs back to back, I'll chill out after that for an hour or two. In the span of 3 hours, we've taken 4 dabs, and they were pretty closely spaced together. Fuck. Now it's time to take shot number 3. Check out, warm up some leftover steak and garlic bread. Fucking find something to watch. It's just a super smooth beat. I really like that beat. Turp Naps, what's going on, fam? We are doing great. You caught us at the end of the stream. We are coming up on, there it is, 3 hours. We've just been chilling. I'm starting a new tradition, we could say. Turbnap says, time for a dab with Mike. We just took 4. We're about to take shot number 3. Much love to you, fam. And you could go back maybe like 5 minutes, and we just took a fat dab. I couldn't even fucking speak right afterwards, because that was number 4, and that shit actually caught me a little bit. But yes, we are about to head out, so I tell you what, I'll take a shot with you. But we're starting a new tradition. If anybody wants to donate $10, $20, honestly, you donate whatever the fuck you want. But it's got to be a minimum of $10, please. If there's any particular piece that you want to see that I'm not using, $10, I'll break it out. We'll take at least 2-3 fat dabs out of it. We'll get some great function shots, and I will use it. So if we don't, because tonight we got actually 2 requests, so I had to switch up the pieces. But if I don't get a request for another piece, I'll just use whichever one gets requested for the rest of the night. So if only one piece gets donated for and I end up switching to that piece, I'll use that for the rest of the night if nobody else asks for one. All right, shot number 3. Ooh. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be on the lookout for more content. I need to stop skipping weeks. It's been the past, I want to say like month or 2. I've been doing streams every 2 weeks instead of every week. We're going to get back to weekly shit. I got to even out, because there's times where, I'm going to be honest with you guys, as much as I love the community, I just don't feel like making a fucking video. Like, I don't feel like, sometimes I don't even feel like streaming. And it's nothing against you guys, it's just, I don't know. Like, I've been doing this for, if we actually count since I started posting content, I didn't always take it as seriously. But if we actually go back to when I started posting content, we're talking about 6 or 7 years now that I've been on YouTube. That's a long time. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing the weekly shit. I've been doing that for years now. And, you know, this is still something that I do only for fun. So I really appreciate the 2 donations that we got tonight. Much love to my little brother, Dead Zaku. Much love to Brother Topher. Thank you guys very much for requesting pieces to see. It's always awesome to see people interested in the collection, that you guys like particular pieces. Now I know for sure that Topher, his favorite piece is the aquarium, because he was willing to pay money to see it. And you know what? let's go ahead and take another dry rip out of this to show the function on it before we close out the night. This thing is like a beer mug for dabs. And that's all sea slime. It fucking chugs so hard, man. Alright. I'm at home, guys, so that's why I don't mind pouring 3 shots. I hope that if you're drinking, that you're somewhere safe, that you don't have to drive. Make sure that you understand that you don't have to drive yourself home. If you did get swifty while you were hanging out with us, I'll throw it out there one more time. There's at least 3 services that I know about, excluding any local service that might be in your area. You got taxis, you got Ubers, you got Lyfts, you have designated drivers, like there's homies that you can actually take out with you that will make sure that you get home. So actually there's 4 right there. Get home safe. Don't be fucking stupid. You don't need a DUI on your record. You don't need to get into a crash. I've had friends, like, seriously. Jesse says, that one came with a crazy long attachment. Yes. Wow. You really pay attention to my shit, Jesse. So let me go ahead and break out that drop down, because I specifically asked for a longer drop down because I got tired of asking for a drop down, and when I would hit it, I would be hitting the piece and there would be a drop down attached to the piece, but I would be like all fucking up here trying to work my bubble cap. So when Semi made this, I told him, make me a drop down that actually fucking drops down, so that when I fucking hit it and I have my bubble cap in there, I'm actually down here and I'm not up here. And he delivered on that shit. It's a big fucking drop down, but you know what? That shit drops down. So it reminds me of a seahorse. This is the head right here, and then you have the back dorsal fins, and then you have the tail right here. But the shape right there, doesn't it remind you guys of a seahorse? And that's all sea slime right there, so. Pretty dope piece. Trent says, "Oh, that's sexy." It's an awesome piece, guys. And again, it's like a beer mug for dabs. Like, there's so much water in that thing for the size. Like, that base, oh man, it's wide. It's wider than a can of soda, like, easily. And there's so much water in there. It fucking chugs. So that's one thing that I really like about all of the recyclers that Semi's made for me. They are made to slay fat dabs. Like, they just, honestly, it's a bad idea to take anything except for a fat dab out of those things. Like, they just fucking, they're out of control. Anyway, much love to all of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I really appreciate it. I hope that all of you have a great rest of your night. Be safe and be on the lookout for more content. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see more cool stuff, me taking rips out of more bongs and dab rigs and book recommendations and hash recommendations and where I'm going to be. If you're in California and you want some fucking hash in your area, hit me up so that I can get a demo scheduled in your area and I can head out there, because more than likely, if it's in the Central Valley or even just Northern California in general, I'm going to be the guy. So if you guys want that stuff and you're actually watching this and you're in that area, seriously, hit me up. We'll schedule a demo in your area and we'll get out there and talk about some hash. In the meantime, Trent says, I've learned a lot from your videos and I appreciate your knowledge. Trent, thank you so much for tuning in, fam. It never ceases to humble me when people say that they have learned stuff from watching my channel, and I'm really, really glad that I could help you. I hope that you continue to watch my stuff and that you continue to enjoy the content. And if this is your first time tuning into a live stream, we normally do this every week on Friday. I've been lagging a little bit and it's been every 2 weeks, but we still do it on Friday. So usually somewhere around like 9 to 10 o'clock Western time. So it is at Pacific. So 9 to 10 o'clock Pacific time, we do a live stream. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram if you want to see other stuff. But much love to you. Whiskey. All right. Time to have dinner. Son of a bitch. Get something to drink. I'm going to need another soda after this because I got cotton mouth like a motherfucker after those 4 dabs. And I know they weren't all in succession and that we've been taking them over the course of the stream. But I had pretty good cotton mouth from like the second dab. Then we added 2 more on top of that. So now it's just like, holy shit. I just took those pretty good gulps of soda. Mouth already feels dry. Anyway, catch you guys later. Much love. Be safe.